Welcome to Unbox Nation. Today we are unboxing the Moto G4 Play, which has been in the market for a few months now. This is a budget phone from Motorola and costs slightly above the Moto E3 Power. The phone has a 5-inch IPS display with a 720 by 1280 pixel resolution, quad-core Snapdragon 410 processor, 8 megapixel main camera and 5 megapixel front camera, 2 GB RAM and 16 GB internal memory. It can also take memory cards up to 128 GB, and this is a dual SIM phone. It supports 4G LTE and also Vivo LTE calls. Inside the box we have the phone, the micro USB cable, earphones, charger, documentation and the battery. The earphones are a basic set with inline button for taking calls. The same ones are included with some of the other Motorola phones too. These are okay for taking calls but not really for enjoying music. The USB cable and charger are of very good quality. This is the charger that Motorola calls a rapid charger. A rapid charger is a marketing term. In normal words, it is a 2 amp charger or a 10 watt charger. Do not mistake this to a turbo charger. And this is the 2800 mAh battery. The phone is very similar to Moto G4, although it is smaller. In size it is very identical to Moto E3 Power. On the front, the opening on the top conceals the earpiece as well as the loudspeaker. Then there is the front camera. Between the speaker grill and the camera there are proximity and light sensors which are not visible here. Below that we have the 5-inch IPS display. There is no notification LED on this phone. The whole scene below the display is the microphone. On the right side there are power and volume buttons. Micro USB port is at the bottom. Nothing on the left, and a earphone socket is there on the top. On the back there is the secondary microphone for noise cancellation, the primary camera, LED flash and the Motorola dimple. The camera and flash are surrounded by a chrome accent which breaks the monotony of the design. The back panel needs to be removed to access the battery, SIM cards or the memory card. SIM 1 slot is below the micro SD card slot. Micro SD card goes in here and the slot for SIM 1 is under this. The SIM 2 goes into the next slot. Switching on for the first time. The initial setup is complete and this is the default home screen. The phone runs on Android Marshmallow and will soon be getting Nougat update. As usual with Motorola phones, there is hardly any bloatware. It is almost pure Android. If we look at the RAM, out of the total 2 GB, 1.2 GB is free. This is after the first boot with no apps installed. And if we look at the storage, out of the total 16 GB internal storage, a total of 5.46 GB is used up by the Android OS and apps. So out of the box we have around 10.5 GB available for the user. Memory cards up to 128 GB can be added to expand the storage. The camera is decent. It is not the quickest but takes good pictures. The camera can be used to scan QR and barcodes without any additional apps. The exposure can be quickly controlled from the camera screen. The camera user interface itself is very simple. A swipe from right to left brings up the gallery, and swipe from left to right brings up the camera settings. Swiping up and down controls the zoom. The photos turned out to be good. These are photos taken without flash in room lighting. The camera struggles to focus sometimes, but the focusing is fairly fast. It can also shoot HD videos at 30 frames per second. Browsing experience is also good. It only struggles a bit when loading large pages, but otherwise it is very smooth. This is YouTube video playback. We can play up to 720p videos and the volume is very good. Viewing angles are also good on the phone. So with the 5-inch screen and good volume, it is good for media consumption too. This is the default phone app and the dialer screen. The phone shows the time and notifications for a few seconds whenever it is lifted from the desk or taken out of the pocket. This is a good feature as we don't have to hit the power button to see the time or to know if there are any new notifications. We can also unlock the phone without having to press the power button. The phone is slim and light, performance is good, camera is good and can record full HD videos. Screen is bright and has good viewing angles. Processor and RAM are decent and will be sufficient for most users. So this phone is a good all-rounder. It is not for heavy gaming, but anything other than that it can easily handle. We cannot compare the performance or the cameras with high-end phones, but in day-to-day use this does not feel sluggish or underperforming at all. This is a budget phone and is a good one. Specs are not the best we can get for this price, but if we consider the whole package from build quality to brand, after-sale service and the overall ownership, this is one of the best phones you can get at this price range. I do not suggest this at 8,999 rupees, which is the sticker price, but anything under 8,000 makes it a great buy. So if you are getting it under 8,000, you should definitely consider this phone. See you in our next video. Do hit that thumbs up below the video and subscribe to Unbox Nation.